Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Ease. Let's talk that Mobb Deep record, a new single off their upcoming album Infinite. I believe the record was premiered on Joe and Jada's podcast, but was officially released this past Friday, September 12th, 2025. And my reaction, I sat with it a couple of days, and I like it a lot, man. I really do. As you all know, I'm a Mobb Deep fan, big Queens. But it was definitely great to hear Prodigy's voice. And the game is truly missing that. Whether you're an avid fan of Mobb Deep or not, just hearing his tone, having it be energetic, was something that, as a hip hop fan, that you can all gravitate towards. I love the fact that on the record itself, they allowed him to be the main attraction, the star. You hear him throughout. He's speaking, has a verse. Throughout the hook, his vocals serve as like the ad libs, the glue, talking this ish. Just being P, the outro, when he says, have I love you and I see you on the other side, like simple things like that. That's production. Because I'm not sure the genesis of this record, if it happens to be an old track that they polished or is an old vocal and they worked around it and created a song. It's hard to tell, and that's a good thing, and that's production in itself. Why? Because P and Havoc's vocals, even the way they're mixed and placed and where they sit within the mix, you can't really tell the difference. There's been some records in the past where you say, oh yeah, that verse was done way before that beat was created, or you can tell this person emailed their vocals in because it doesn't match, whether it's a different room environment or the mix is more compressed or what have you. You don't really have those problems with this song. And I like the song a lot, the soulful sample. I like the way it's looped up. It's not minute chops, but the way they place the loops, the bass line, and just the slight swing on the drums is something that I can truly appreciate. And it's not MPC swing, it's more like native instrument swing. For those who produce, you know exactly what I'm speaking about. But Mobb Deep Against the World, I like the track. I really do. I played it a lot too, man. I was running it back. It just felt like Queens, felt like Mobb Deep, felt like a mixtape era in a sense. Even the way it's mixed. Shout out to Eddie Sancho, the legendary Eddie Sancho, who happens to have mixed this record. Everything is coming directly at you, you know. That's what it sounds like. Unless I didn't listen to it with headphones, to be honest. But the pans, even the pans, it doesn't seem extreme, like where the hi-hat is extreme left or ad-lib is extreme right. It seems like everything is coming directly at you in a sense. And that's the Mobb Deep sound, right? Warm, well-rounded track. The drums aren't as prevalent or heavy in a sense. They take a back seat to the sample itself, but yet they're still present. Bass line is fire. I like the way he was playing with the triplet on the kick. No overplaying. Placement is everything, man. Also, I love the fact that they kept it Mobb Deep. In a sense, Alchemist's Mobb Deep came in later down the line, but I like that Havoc produced this track. I like the fact that they didn't go get a Nas or a Raekwon or a Ghostface or even a Lloyd Banks or a Cormega and throw them on the track. Even though they're family per se, I'm glad that they kept it strictly Mobb, Havoc, and Prodigy. And this is a great look, man. And it's encouraging to know that when the album does drop, that they made a conscious decision to make Mobb Deep music based on this single. They didn't play around with P's legendary status and have him over some production that he wouldn't typically select, you know what I mean? This Mass Appeal Legend Has It series, these artists are electing to do things in the way in which they would want to. And that's what you would want as a fan, right? As a celebration. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna cop some vinyl, cop a CD, some merch. Mobb Deep, as you all know, P is one of my favorite rappers. Just go through my content. And it was great to hear his voice, man, for real. For real, man. And I'm looking forward to the album, Mobb Deep Against the World. This is fire. This is fire. I don't really have anything negative to say about it in a sense, because we'll give a review of the album in a sense, but this is encouraging of things to come. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Mobb Deep Against the World. Fire, it's cool, not feeling it. Your opinion, share with us. I would love to hear from you. Let me know below. Gotta get up out of here. As you all know, you can achieve anything in this world through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest. It's your man, easy experience. Go get yours. Share.
I keep saying the older rappers, some of them need to just retire, just making music for no reason. I feel like that they're ruining our legacy.
Hey, yo, Ease.
Check it out. What we talking about today? Let's talk about legacies and legends. Now, first off, a legend is someone who is revered, or how people view you, cultural impact, mythical status, you know, things along that line. Your legacy is what you leave behind. Not everyone with a legacy is a legend. So two different terms, and somehow we have married them together exclusively. No, it doesn't work like that. And a lot of things he was saying doesn't make sense to me, because he said something like 10 years ago, Raekwon and Method would never do records with some of these dudes or younger rappers or whomever. First of all, that's silly. That's the quickest way to lead to extinction within your own genre that you love, because how are you going to keep it going if no one is collaborating with the youth or the elder statesmen and everyone is off in their own corners? Secondly, he's being disingenuous, or maybe he just doesn't have the history behind it, because if you go back 10 years, remember the song Trillmatic? ASAP Mob, I think it was ASAP Nas, did a record with Method. Man, it was fire. And most people would say, well, that's ASAP Mob, but it wasn't Ferg, and it wasn't Rocky. It was Meth doing a record with the younger generation, which he continues to do. And there's also empirical evidence that he is not on a decline, or he's not hurting his legacy. This is something that he's always done. This is what I don't understand within the culture, when we have so many critics and they speak about things that don't make sense, because, once again, I stated, the whole genre, or any genre, let's just talk about music, or any business, if you don't have young, energetic minds coming into the sector, it'll typically die off, right? But how do they learn? From the elder statesmen. You may have the talent, you may have the gift, but you need someone to help you go through the maturation process. All of this stuff can't happen in a vacuum. And I'm not understanding why they keep saying all these older dudes need to stop rapping. Why? Why? I really don't get that, especially when he, SO, happens to be not an older gentleman, but from that generation of the golden era. And for someone who has so much business acumen, like he states, and he's been in the business, he comes across as jaded, like these rappers that he wants to stop rapping didn't particularly respect him while he had a position. And now he feels as though he's in a position to speak on or speak down on what they do, because you can't look at what Mass Appeal is doing and somehow view that as some type of negative contribution to hip hop or music as a whole. They're literally licensing product from OGs and selling merch and music, physical copies. I'm not sure the percentage that the artists are getting, but based on what Ghostface said, Nas is A1 when it comes to business. So how are you speaking out against that? When every time we turn around, people talk about the game ain't what it used to be, nobody's selling records and it's dying off. But every time we speak, for the most part, I'm saying we because this is general, you know, it's like we're not even breathing any life into the culture. There's always something negative, unless it typically aligns with what we want, but I don't know what they're looking for. That just doesn't make sense to me. 10 years ago, such and such wouldn't have did a record with such and such. The question is, why? Legacy ain't always about you. Your legacy what you leave behind doesn't make you a first ballot Hall of Famer for every individual. Everyone has a legacy, and that's the problem. We've taken, or the term, or the lifestyle of being exclusive and being a man that sits on the top of the hill, and made that as the top, or made that as the goal, when it shouldn't be. Your legacy should be what you added to the culture, not how many features or album requests or show requests you denied because you were that guy at the time. It's like some of this have to be, or has to be, about giving back, right? It's not always about how one was viewed as an exclusive artist or entity. You can be the GOAT, you can be the number one guy in your eyes, but ultimately, the question that should loom every day is, what contribution am I making to the very culture that I'm a part of? And that's what a lot of these pundits seem to always overlook. Not wanting the older rappers or the newer rappers to collaborate because it's a young man's game. But for the most part, outside of beef and controversy, the game itself has been powered by the elder statesmen. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna get into all the negativity that's been looming on YouTube and the internet when it comes to rappers or people associated with them. But if we're talking about strictly music, it's the OGs that have been putting forth the blueprint on how things should look, how to age gracefully, and just simple things, how to conduct yourself. So to hear older gentlemen like Esso or Bagview, and he's not the only one, there's other individuals that think just like that, it's counterproductive. The very culture you eat off, you're gonna have it extinct based on your logic. Or maybe you just wanna say outlandish things so that you can go viral. But like I always say, all money ain't good money. And every ounce of attention ain't always worth it, you know? So that's just my take on that. Once again, legacy and legend, two different things. Not all people with legacies are legends. You can have a horrific legacy, you know? You can, that's just the way it goes. The Buffalo Bills from the 90s, yeah, they're winners within their conference, but their legacy is what, going 0-4 in the Super Bowl. So shout out to y'all. Let me know what you think in the comment section, man. A lot of this stuff just doesn't make sense to me. I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all once again for tuning into the channel. Smash that like button if you made it this far. Leave a comment. It's your man Ease at the Ease Experience. Remember, you can achieve anything in this world through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest. Go get yours. Yeah.